Welcome to Clear Intentions. I'm DC, wishing you peace and blessings on this beautiful day that we've been given. As individuals, we are faced with so much, no matter the age or gender. There are so many ups and downs. And when we feel as though things may be leveling off, something else comes along to try to derail us. Like someone close to you becomes dependent upon you for long-term care when that person has traumatized you growing up, and the whole thing has left you conflicted. What do you do in a situation like this? One of the hardest struggles a person can face is being expected to take care of the very person who has caused them harm. One must choose between their own well-being and the expectations placed upon them by family or even their own sense of obligation. Many people believe that caring for someone in need is always the right thing to do, no matter the circumstances, even when doing so comes at a cost to their own mental health. We are taught from a very early age that family is everything, and no matter what happens, we must push through the pain, set aside personal grievances, and uphold the family unit. These messages, reinforced over generations, create expectations that often reveal themselves later in life. Particularly when an abusive family member becomes ill or requires care, the burden of these expectations may not align with your personal journey. Yet there is an unspoken rule that the role of caregiver is not a choice, but a duty. It's the strict parent who is quick to draw the belt, or the spouse that you took a vow to for better or for worse. These relationships are never easy, but with little choice, we sometimes have to see them through. The weight of these connections can feel suffocating, trapping us between duty and self-preservation. But suffering doesn't equal love. And enduring mistreatment does not make us stronger. It only weighs us down. At some point, you must ask yourself, am I staying out of love or out of obligation? Am I holding on because I truly want to, or because I fear the consequences of letting go? There's no shame in choosing yourself. The hardest relationships teach us the hardest lessons, but they also give us the power to decide what we will and will not accept. That choice is ours. For some, stepping into the role of a caregiver may feel like a necessary part of the healing process, a way to find closure. But for many of us, that expectation can feel like a trap, forcing us to suppress our own pain and sacrificing our well-being in the name of duty. And we may feel that we are betraying our family by refusing to take on such a responsibility. There is a high price to pay for assuming a responsibility of caring for someone who has inflicted harm. It can be confusing. How can you care for someone who once made you feel powerless? How do you balance the pain of the past with the present day reality that they need to be cared for? Being able to reach a place of forgiveness that allows us to move forward and provide care without resentment is commendable. To be able to separate the person from their action, to see that they are deeply flawed human beings rather than just the sum of their actions. Knowing this allows a victim to consider factors such as their abuser's upbringing. Many abusers have been shaped by their own traumas, unhealthy environments, or unresolved emotional wounds. This helps to explain the whys, but it does not diminish the impact of their actions. When survivors give in to guilt to take on the role of caregiver, the emotional cost can be severe. Being around their abuser can re-traumatize them, making it difficult to move forward. Resentment and internal conflict can build, as survivors may feel anger towards their abusers or their families or even themselves for taking on such a responsibility. While an abuser in need of care may appear powerless, sometimes their perceived vulnerability is used as a tool to maintain control over the victim. Their neediness, whether emotional or physical, can become a form of manipulation, making the victim feel responsible for their well-being. Abusers rarely acknowledge their past wrongdoings. You'll get only unfulfilled expectations if waiting for them to take responsibility. Years of abuse often include psychological conditioning, and it changes your perception. It blurs the line between what is normal versus what is abnormal. If there's ever a right time to make amends, it would be now. A sincere apology, backed by genuine remorse, can make the difference between healing a relationship or losing it forever. When harm has been done, words alone are not enough. There must be a true willingness to take responsibility to make things right. Apologizing is not just about saying, "I'm sorry." These are empty words without action or sincerity behind them. owning up to the past, showing understanding, and demonstrating a commitment to change. People may not always be ready to forgive immediately, but a heartfelt apology can open the door to rebuilding trust. Ignoring past wrongs or waiting for the perfect moment only increases the distance. The longer hurt lingers, the harder it becomes to repair the damage. Taking accountability now can prevent a relationship from slipping away permanently. In the end, relationships are built on trust, honesty, and respect. These qualities should be present from the very beginning, not something that we try to fix later on when the damage has already been done. One of the biggest mistakes people make is underestimating the lasting impact of their actions, especially on children. They never forget, and they do not stay young forever. They grow up, and the way that they were treated stays with them. Every word spoken, every act of unkindness or cruelty, every moment of neglect shapes the way they see the world and their relationships. A child who felt unheard, unloved, or unimportant will carry that pain into adulthood. At the same time, people often forget that life is a cycle and that one day those in power, those who are strong and independent, will find themselves in a position of vulnerability. Aging brings challenges, physical, emotional, and sometimes financial. And when that time comes, the way they treated their loved ones in the past will always dictate the kind of support and care they're going to receive. A person who never showed love, patience, or understanding cannot expect those things to be given freely when they need it the most. Love and support are not automatic. They are built over time through consistent care and respect. You cannot be blamed or shamed into sacrificing your freedom for someone who has harmed you. It's necessary to create spaces that are in harmony with the person that you are, no matter the circumstances. And your healing and peace are not things that you owe to anybody else. They are your right. Just because someone needs help does not mean that they are entitled to your presence. Care can come in many different forms, and providing support doesn't always mean that you have to physically be there. You can acknowledge someone's struggles without sacrificing yourself. Sometimes offering help from a distance is the best way if you choose to be involved. Two things in life have the power to heal: time and forgiveness. Without them, pain lingers like a heavy sack of bricks, weighing you down with each step. Carrying resentment, anger, or grief takes a toll on you, and it drains your energy. Time allows wounds to heal, but time alone is not always enough. Forgiveness is what truly lightens the load. With time, forgiveness, and the intention to create healthy boundaries and spaces is where you truly find peace. Have you been in this situation? How did you handle it? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Until